Okay, so paano kung binayaran yung, this is a continuation doon sa pledge. Paano kung binayaran yung kanyang to 500,000? Okay, so in that case, pag binayaran siya on December 1, 2027, so ang entry dyan is, una is i-debit mo yung discounted notes payable. Okay, kasi tapos na to. Total of 500,000. Second is, i-amortize mo yung interest. Okay. By the way, ito yung cash pala. So, babayaran mo yan, 500,000. Yung ikalawa is yung amortization of the interest. So, yung remaining discount on the notes payable na hindi na amortize previously, di ba yung unamortized natin is only 5,000. So, mayroon pang 55,000. So, i-record muna yan dito. Then, yung amortization, then credit ka discount on notes payable. Diyan. So, 55,000. So, that's it. So, these are the two entries that will be presented or provided at the date of payment for the 500,000. That's for the pledging. Okay, I hope that you get that pledge. Now, let's continue on the assignment of accounts receivable. So, sinasabi dito na ang assignment doon, accounts receivable is more formal. Why more formal? Kasi dito, ang pinipledge mo dito ay hindi, or yung ginagarantiya mo dito ay hindi buong, hindi siya buo na accounts receivable. Okay, halimbawa, mayroon kang receivable AR from A, customer A, then mayroon kang AR from B, AR from C. So, ito siya, 500K. Dito naman, 2.5 million. Dito naman, 5 million. Okay, pwede mo sabihin na, okay, I'm going to borrow some money from you, bank, pero igagarantiya ko si, as pambayad doon sa utang na yan, yung amounting 1 million na utang. Halimbawa, mapapansin mo dito, there is an specific accounts receivable na i-assign doon. Hindi siya general yung buong accounts receivable. Kasi yung general na pag-assign, yung 100% of the accounts receivable, I mean, general na pag-garansya, yun yung ginagawa doon sa pledge. Okay? Yun yung kaibahan ng pledge at saka yung ano doon. Kasi ang dito is lahat sila use the receivables, all of them. Okay? So, there is known as general assignment of accounts receivable. So, dito sa assignment, there is no general, there is an specific. So that would give to this description of financing as assignment. Okay. Okay, now let's have this scenario. Kasi pagdating kasi daw sa assignment, mayroon dalawang klase na arrangement. Okay, sa assignment. So, pwedeng ang una na arrangement is yung tinatawag nila na uh, non-notification basis. Okay, non-notification basis. Ang ibig sabihin yan, yung customer ay hindi siya i-inform ng seller na yung kanyang yung receivable ng seller doon kay customer ay ina-assign na pala doon pala sa bangko bilang pambayad. So hindi siya i-inform. Therefore, ang mangyari, kung magbabayad si customer ng kanyang utang, didiretso yung cash niya patungo kay seller. Okay? Yun yung non-notification basis. Okay. Now, here are the consequences as to the impact on how the journal entries are to be prepared pag non-notification basis. Okay? Okay. So, in here, another impact pala sa journal entries kasi pag nag-assign ka ng accounts receivable, halimbawa dito, i-assign natin si B, 2.5, magkakaroon ng entry doon sa pag-assign. kumbaga magde-debit ka ng AR assigned at saka AR na walang any further tag or label. So dito kung i-assign mo si 2.5 million, yun. AR assigned debit 2.5 million. So ganun yung unang impact doon pagdating sa accounts receivable. Pero yung accounts receivable assigned is parte pa rin siya ng total accounts receivable. Nagkaroon lang siya ng separate na description doon sa statement of financial position. Then, in addition to that, mayroong mga disclosure like mga significant terms at saka conditions na kailangan pa rin na ilalagay doon sa notes to financial statement. Okay, itong illustration na to, this will demonstrate to us kung paano i-apply yung sinasabi natin with regards sa non-notification basis of assigning accounts receivable. Okay. Now, assuming that the following transactions of ABC Manufacturing during 2026. ABC Manufacturing entered into an assignment arrangement with Easy Finance Company, whereby the assignee would advance 80% of the assigned accounts receivable. So, 80% of that. Tapos, babawasan pa siya ng 2,000 service charge. During the year, as a ABC assignment assigned 400,000 of accounts receivable. So therefore, if we are going to get the 80% of that, that would be, I think that would be 320,000. Okay? Tapos babawasan pa siya ng 2,000 na service charge, meaning to say, ang matatanggap niya lang niya doon sa receivable financing arrangement is only 318,000. Okay. Ngayon, nakakolekta siya ng 250,000 tapos remitted niya to AFC to apply first to the 3,500 interest kasi pag nag-receivable financing ka in this arrangement, para ka din naglo-loan doon sa sa bangko. But in addition to that arrangement, nagkaroon lang talaga ng ito yung particular na receivable ko na pambayad for that loan. Okay? Okay. So, 3.5 while the balance, so 250 minus the 3.5, the balance is applied to the principal. Then, nagkaroon ng sales returns and allowances. Okay. Now, since the accounts receivable still on the position or still on the possession pala on the part of the seller, meaning to say, hindi naman niya transfer, ang ginawa lang niya is nagkaroon lang ng reclassification of the accounts receivable from being accounts receivable to accounts receivable assigned. Okay? Meaning to say, yung burden pa rin kung hindi makolekta or kung may ma-return man na amount doon sa accounts receivable, ay doon pa rin tutungo sa seller. Siya pa rin yung magre-record ng sales returns and allowances kung mayroong mangyayari na ganyan. Okay. Now, let's have the journal entries. Okay, since we discussed already kung ano yung mga nandun sa content ng scenario. Okay. Una, yung pag-assign ng account ng 400,000. So, ito yung gagawin. Debit account 200,000. Sorry. Magkano pala yung, okay. Debit 400,000 accounts receivable assigned, then credit accounts receivable. Okay, 400,000. So, nandun. So, mayroon ng accounts receivable assigned na nakapresent dun sa statement of financial position. Second, as I said, yung 380, yung ito kanina, na paano na-compute, 480 times 400,000 is 80%. That's 320. Tapos, babawasan pa ng service charge, 2,000. So, that would result to 318 na cash as the net proceeds. Okay? Then, yung 2,000, ilalagay yun as finance charges or bank charges, bank finance charge. So, whatever is your title, kung ano yung nandun sa chart of accounts mo, then that is welcome. On the credit side, there is always a notes payable ilagay dito kasi mayroon kang utang talaga. Mag-issue kasi ng promissory note dito hindi siya mag-issue. Mag-issue ng promissory note dito si seller. Okay? So, ang kanyang issue is worth 320,000 kasi ito naman yung inutang niya. Okay? So, that's the initial entry. Ngayon, on the next transaction, nakakolekta ng 250,000. So, ang gagawin, so as I said, kasi non-notification basis ito na klase ng assignment. Ang ibig sabihin, hindi inform si customer na doon siya magbabayad sa bangko. So, si customer ay magbabayad pa rin kay seller. Okay? Yung kanyang pinagkakautangan. So, which is, kaya si seller tatanggap ng cash, 250,000. Then, ibabawas na yung 250,000 against doon sa accounts receivable assigned. Okay. Then, after that, since sinabi doon sa arrangement na kung makakolekta ka doon out sa assign na receivable mo, ibabayad mo yan at first doon sa interest expense. Okay? Then, yung balance naman ay ilalagay dito sa notes payable. Okay, paano ito na-compute? So, yung 250, okay, babawasan mo ng 3,500. Then, that's it. That's the notes payable. Paid out of the 250,000. Bakit hindi unahin yung principal? Kasi as a rule naman sa legal, kung mayroong interest expense, yun ang unahin na bayaran. Okay. So the total payment was 250,000. Okay. Ngayon nagkaroon ng sales return. So again, so sinabi natin kanina, kasi yung accounts receivable assigned is not a transfer of the ownership of the accounts receivable. So therefore, yung magre-record ng sales returns and allowances is si seller pa rin. Kaya mayroong ganito na entry. Ibabawas niya yun, of course, galing sa accounts receivable assigned. So that's it. So, I hope that what I mean, you follow that. So, ito yung impact ngayon pagdating sa statement of financial position, yung presentation natin. So, at the end of the year, the accounts receivable assigned in the amount of 145,000 will be included in the one-line caption, trade and other receivables. Yung breakdown niya lang ay makikita mo yan doon sa notes to financial statements. Okay? So, isa pa rin yan sa line under the trade and other. Ito yung kasing yung suggested na description doon pagdating sa sa presentation ng statement of financial position. Okay, so doon pa rin yan siya isang linya, trade and other receivables. On the other hand, since mayroon siyang utang, nag-issue siya ng promissory note, then that particular notes payable has to be presented also kung magkano yung balanse. So magkano ba yung balanse ngayon? So from 320k, yung bayad niya doon is 'di ba 246,500. So therefore yung kanyang balanse ay kakalculate na natin kasi medyo mahirap ito. 320,000 minus 246,500, yun ang kanyang balanse na 73,500 ata. Yeah, 500. Okay. So, yun ang kanyang impact. Okay? Then, I would like to emphasize this, ha? So, ganito yon. Mayroon pang additional na nire-require sa notes to financial statements. 'Di ba kanina mayroon yung mga terms and conditions na ilalagay doon, yung mga significant lang. Tapos yung schedule na mayroong AR assigned. Aside from that, kailangan daw na ilalagay kung ano yung net amount. In this case, ang net niya is 71. Okay, paano yon? Okay, remember na sa una, i-compute natin yung net ng AR. AR assigned. Okay, ang remaining na net ng AR assigned ngayon is 145. Okay, after those, okay? Yun lang yung natira daw. Then ang natira doon sa sa notes payable doon sa particular na bank na yan is how much? 73,500. So that would give the net amount of 71,000. But again, this is to be presented only sa notes to financial statements. Hindi ito sa face ng statement of financial position, ha? Sa notes of financial statements lang yan. Just siguro to give a picture about this arrangement. Okay? So that's the only the point. So dito, all you need to do is kailangan malaman